So it's decision time. Let's get started with our if-else statements. Decisions are something we as humans do all the time. We look at things and we make decisions about it. If it's hot today, what will I wear? If it's cold, what will I wear? Decisions control our everyday life, what we do, what we drink, what we eat. As humans, it's a very natural thing to make a decision. When it comes to devices and computers, making decisions isn't so natural. It needs to be explicitly defined what decision to make, when to make it, and how to make it. We're going to look now as to how we go about doing that within Swift. A decision controls the flow of our program. In our programs, decisions decide what happens next. It looks at a specific condition, evaluates what that condition is, and depending on what it evaluates to, decides what piece of code will be executed next. It controls your program's flow. When we design our programs, we need to think very carefully about the decisions our program will make. How's it going to make it? When's it going to make it? Decision principles need to be thought through. What condition are we testing? What's the condition when it's true? What's the condition when it's false? When the condition is true, what do we want to do? If the condition isn't true, what do we want to do? Once we've thought through these things, we can then continue on the development of our programs. Let's take a look at two ways we make decisions in Swift. We have if and we have if-else. The first way, the if statement stands alone. We check the condition of something. If it's true, the code within the curly brackets executes. Once that code has finished executing, our program continues on. The next way, or the other way we go about doing it, is with an if-else statement. It checks a condition. If that condition is true, the code within the first curly bracket section executes. However, if the condition was false, it jumps that first bit of code, goes into the bit of code between the curly brackets after the else statement, and executes that code. Once that's finished, it continues on outside of the curly brackets. Let's take a look at a couple of examples here. Our first example, we're using just the if statement. We have a variable called height, and it has a value of 193. We now check that value. If height is greater than or equal to 190, let's print out, wow, tall person. Otherwise, it will continue on. Our second piece of code, we have a variable called height. It has a value, and we now check that variable. Is it greater than or equal to 190? Given that the variable has a value of 183, it is false, and therefore the else statement, person is short, will execute. So those are two of the decision-making processes we use within Swift, if and the if-else statements.